Hello and welcome to my first ever predictions video. We're in the fall split, heading into week number 5. If you want some free fantasy points, I'm your dude. Forget the other casters, coming to me. I got you. Alright, so let's kick things off first here. We got Elevate against Obey Alliance. Obey Alliance looking so strong right now. 5-0-0. They haven't lost a single game this entire split with 15 points. I can't believe it, honestly. Even with the transition from Maniac switching to Energy, Zalia has been performing really well here. However, Elevate, they're kind of on the rise as well. They're sitting at 7 points. They're kind of making some moves as well ever since they got Death Panther in that mid lane. They've been showing a lot of signs of improvement, so I wouldn't be surprised here if Elevate surprises me and everyone else. But the safe bet here is definitely Obey Alliance 2-0. Let's go ahead and move on to the next set. We're going to be having Burrito against Rival. Rival has always been looking a little shaky online. Honestly, to me, I think that this is a little bit of a fluke. They should be playing a lot better than they have been. They're up against Burrito right now in this Thursday game. I got to give it to Rival here. This is time for them to step it up. This is time for them to lock down their seeding heading into the gauntlet. I'm not sure if they're going to actually have the necessary mathematical points. It doesn't look like it with Dignitas and Obey Alliance being so high up there, but they could definitely rise in the standings for the gauntlet. However, on the flip side, we're seeing Burrito Esports. They find some interesting wings here and there. They beat Energy. Who would have thought that would have happened, right? But at the end of the day, this is Rival we're talking about here. This is the second place summer champions, and I don't expect them to lose a single game here to Burrito. Next game on the Thursday schedule, we're moving to North America, actually. And since we're moving to North America, let me switch the standings as well so we can kind of gander upon that. So we got E United against Team Vigilant, formerly known as not a Mighty Storm, SPL Gatekeepers. And this is the typical Pain Divion Day to Remember team. I'm looking at the other members, Killer Dahan, Grave, Manda Warrior. They're all solid ranked players, but this is kind of their debut in the SPL, and they haven't really brought it to the table. And I think that with that being said, 2 out of 5 members is not enough to really topple over any team really in the SPL, unless you're other than Cryptic, honestly. That could be a possibility as well, as they're relatively new, or at least some of them are relatively new into the SPL. This matchup should go E United's favor 2-0 very handedly. They, alongside Obey Alliance, have yet to lose a single game in the SPL fall split. I don't expect it to start here. Okay, so that's the third set of that day. Let's move over to the next set, which is ALG Trifecta. Here, you know, the switch between Oceans and Medyankee for Team Allegiance has been looking peculiar and interesting. I wouldn't say that it's a solid switch, but it's a switch that works for them. If it feels that they're more comfortable in scrims and SPL and that puts them in a more successful winning position, then so be it. Right now, their record doesn't dictate that. They're sitting at the bottom of the pack with only 2 splits thus far. And it's not going to get any easier here because they're up against Trifecta in this Thursday game. Trifecta, they should have been probably performing better than they have currently. But honestly, North America is pretty stacked, or at least the 4 teams and higher. Trifecta sitting with 7 points, 2 victories, 1 split. I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes a split, honestly, if Team Allegiance kind of shakes things up a little bit, camps the solo lane, maybe tries to abuse Kiki So Cheeky, but at the end of the day, I'm going to give this a 2-0 heading into Trifecta's favor. So with that being said, we're going to move over to Saturday, where it's only European action all across the board as I switch my graphics for you guys just to get a better visual here. So we got a lot of interesting names for both of these teams here. Elevate, like we mentioned before, Nalissa gone, Death Panther in. They've been looking way more solid. Their record definitely shows that. On the flip side, however, we're seeing a Valence squad right behind them, actually tied in points. So this is a very important matchup for both of them to see which team is going to be over the other. And with Elevate having the Thursday game as well, this could easily be the chance that Elevate locks in the 3rd seeding from Europe heading after week number 5. Valence squad versus Elevate. This is too tricky to actually get an easy 2-0 victory for either side. So the safe answer is definitely a split for this one. Next one here after Elevate versus Valence is going to be Rival against Energy. Energy have not looked like Energy whatsoever. They do not look like the two-time defending world champions, but at the same time, Rival haven't looked like the same Rival that we've known and loved them for as well. I gotta give this slight edge to Rival here, though, simply because Rival has defeated Energy in the past 2 lands that they faced against each other. The Gauntlet, the Spring Split land. Solid performances by them all across the board. I'm really expecting Energy to step it up and Rival to kind of throw a wrench at them. Rival has been a team known to kind of throw people for a loop during picks and bans, especially with some of their openings, specifically Deathwalker playing Ares in solo lane. I mean, who does that, right? You got to be a madman to run Ares in the solo lane, but either way, I got to give this a split. I'm expecting Energy to step it up. They're going to be in the Gauntlet. They're going to try to battle their way through, and Rival's going to be alongside them. These are 2 very close teams, very difficult to call, giving it a split right down the middle. Papis against Burrito. 2 of the bottom tier teams currently in the European standings. You know, Papis with 2 points, Burrito with 2 points. Similar story to the spring split. It's not much has changed, honestly, between either of these teams. We're seeing a different mid laner for Papis. Mr. Nacer steps in for Oho Boom. But other than that, also Farrakrick stepped in for Burrito. So 2 mid laner switches for these 2 teams. Not much has changed other than that. So this could be a 2-0 either way. This could be a split. I'm going to give it a 2-0 here, honestly, for Papis. Just because I'm feeling a little bit of spicy, and I love a little bit of spice in my burrito. Next set of that day, and the last set actually, this is like the highlight set of the week. This is Obey Alliance against Team Dignitas, the former Summer Split champions against the former Spring Split champions. This is going to be like the match of all matches to come, the Battle of the Titans, whatever you want to call this game. You better be here to watch this game because it's going to be a doozy. Both of these teams are so freaking good right now. I gotta call it to Obey Alliance, though. Dignitas, they did have 2 splits earlier on, but Obey Alliance, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter what solo laner they're with, honestly. Whether it's Variety, whether it's Maniac, whether it's Zalia, Obey Alliance, they rely on the other 4 members and that 6-member Hazer to kind of bring them and uplift them into the SPL and onwards. Their chemistry is just too good right now, but that doesn't mean Dignitas' chemistry isn't there either. You can see their YouTube videos all the time of how they scrim and practice. They're definitely got some good things going around the board, but if I had to pick this matchup, the safe bet is Obey 1-1 against Dignitas, but honestly, the way Obey have been playing, they are definitely more motivated than I can tell than any other team currently in the SPL, both North America and Europe. I got to give a 2-0 for Obey Alliance for this last Saturday matchup. It's a doozy. Be there or be square. Moving on to North America, moving on to Sunday, and then moving on to ALG versus Noble. This should be pretty straightforward, honestly. It should. If you look at the lineups here, the names, the quote-unquote superstar names for ALG should win here, but they've been kind of shitting the bed, to put it frankly. They just have not been playing up to their name standards. Noble have been playing a little bit more consistent, or at least in the early game. You know, they almost beat Trifecta in that first game of their set in the last week, number 4. Unfortunately, they couldn't really close out the game. Mosswell playing mid was fantastic addition for Noble, and I think that they have a long future ahead of them. And I think in this matchup specifically, I'm going to give this matchup a split, but I wouldn't be surprised if Noble 2-0s ALG here. Second set of the day is E United versus LG. LG have been fantastic, and so have E United. This is another difficult matchup. If we looked at Obey Alliance versus Dignitas as the match of the day, match of the week, match of the split, this could be the flip reverse side for North America. Both of these teams playing out of their mind. E United has been making such good of a transition with PBM in that support role. Scream has been making the mechanical plays happen for them every single time. I'm really expecting LG here also to show us why they are the North American team that everybody looks at. So I'm going to give this matchup actually a 2-0 victory for Luminosity. Baron and Jeffilla are always a threat here, and I'm expecting E United to maybe develop a strategy that would shut that down. Third set of the day. We're going to have another bottom of the pack 2 teams here. 2 of the former challenger teams. Cryptic against Vigilant, formerly a Mighty Storm, formerly SPL Gatekeepers. Kind of hard to call, but honestly, the way Final K played Hercules last week, that performance alone has me leaning forward towards Cryptic. So I'm going to give this a 2-0 for Cryptic. Last set of the day and of the week, we have Trifecta against Space Station. Now, as I was mentioning before in the Thursday games, Trifecta haven't been playing the way they could have been possibly playing. Like, they have a lot of good names, they have a good synergy, and I'm really expecting them to kind of step it up here, especially against Space Station. Space Stations, they have the names, they have the talent, but they don't have the wins that they're supposed to be having at all. And I'm expecting this to actually be a split down the middle. I think that Space Station's going to find the first win, and then they're going to slip up in the second game. Trifecta have been looking really solid. They bounced back against Noble after losing for the first 20 to 25 minutes of the game. And both of these teams could easily find a 2-0 victory here, but I'm expecting Trifecta to walk away with a second game of the day here. And that's going to conclude my Week 5 predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed this thoroughly. Be here on Thursday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/HighResTV. And if you want to follow me and more of my content, I'm going to provide you guys with some more links in the description box below. And I hope to see you guys soon.